Hi, beautiful human. I'm Zach. That's Dan.
Yep.
That's
Beautiful
Eddie
humans.
Benjamin. Yeah.
It's beautiful humans everywhere right now.
We're talking about
I'm honored.
home.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been here 5 years, but does this place feel like home yet? LA?
I think it's starting to. I think my community has built into a space where like I feel home in people. But it's hard, man. Any drastic shift in environment is hard.
I mean, you came here with your parents.
I did.
I mean, that's a beautiful sense of security.
It is. It was beautiful. I mean, they're very stable, aware humans, which I'm grateful for. I think it can be a rarity. So like that support was beautiful, but also like being overprotected is a thing too. And like there was a time where I was like, I'm gonna try to do this, which is like when I went on tour. I think maybe when I just went by myself. You know,
that's really an interesting concept because both of your parents are heavily creative.
Yeah.
Your dad's a drummer,
Mm-hmm.
and your mom is a choreographer.
Mm-hmm.
Incredibly gifted individuals in both those fields. Like, really did a lot.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, they're talented and beautiful for sure.
I mean,
in creative ways.
Very much made up of both of them.
Yes.
But there is also this idea that like they know a lot. They could know too much. They could be trying to protect you maybe a little bit too much. And like you also have to make mistakes on your own.
Exactly. It's tough. I was talking to my friend who just had a baby about this yesterday. His biggest anxiety is you want to try to be there for every little intricate moment for your child and make sure that they're okay. And like, you can't really do that. You have to let go in some aspect. And I think like every human gets to go through that in their own way. But I think like something switched, and one day I was like, no, I need to go and travel all by myself. You know, I need to go and play these shows by myself and like really discern what is happening for me. Because, you know, I think it can get hard when you love someone so much and you are seeing them move a lot and have a lot of challenges and have a lot of kind of energy around them. I think, yeah.
But also enter into something that is like, and you're living it, you know it. It is like this whole thing, this journey is both scary and incredible.
Yeah. It is. It absolutely is. I feel like you choose your pain in this life. Not to get too deep off the rip, but like you choose your pain. Do you want to be in comfort for your whole life and not face your fears, the things that keep you up at nighttime, or do you want to attempt to face the things that scare you? I think often lead to the places you want to go. When I think of what scares me the most is like telling a real story that's like vulnerable through a piece of expression. That scares me, so I do it. You know?
Does it scare you when you're in the room? Like at what stage of the creative process is actually scary? Or is it the whole thing?
It depends. I think we don't give enough credit to this reality of every day being truly different. You know? And like every day can just micro nuances can shift. And I think like sometimes I've sat at the piano and just cried for hours trying to get this idea out, and that was scary because I'm with my peers and I'm crying for hours. You know what I'm saying? That's like it's a scary thing to really open up in that way. But yeah, I think different parts can be scary. Of course, like talking about what the song is about can be scary. Singing a really intimate vocal part can be scary, but I think fear is ridden all around us. It's like you can really get good at dancing with fear, I guess, you know.
The room that you're doing this all in and who's in that room, I mean, couldn't be more vital.
Yes, couldn't be more vital.
To one's ability to just even feel comfortable to cry at a piano.
Yeah. It's taken some time for that too, like my boys, Alex and Kyle, I think they've seen me in like the most vulnerable of states. It's interesting because like people ask me what a producer does, what production is, and like for me, last time I got sick, I called my producer and he took me to my doctor. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what producing is for me. It's living with that person, truly knowing them so they can be truly vulnerable outside the conscious mind that's like, you know, when you're creative, a lot of your parts of you try to get in the way. Like I can feel when a song is just brain or just heart or just sexual energy. And for me, like and that's all beautiful. Everyone has to express what they feel, but I think to really get past the subconscious and into the truth, the people you create with have to be with you and live with you in a sense, you know?
Is this something that happens or could happen every day? Does it happen in periods of time? Is it like, how does one create in this way that's so emotionally laborious or taxing?
It's different for everyone. I don't think that's why this reality is beautifully interesting, is because like we all have different truths. But for me, to keep that channel open, you have to accept fear and try to be aware of truly what is happening in your system and truly understand the fears that are at play and sitting with it. I think for me, my issue is I love to rush. I love to go quickly. I love to do things fast. We're moving, and we're at this restaurant next, like da-da-da-da-da, like always trying to move. And it's actually interesting. Again, I don't mean to get too deep, but I've been doing just research, and I think the way you're born, your birth indicates a lot how you move. And I was born quick. I think the labor was like 4 hours or something, which is quick. And so like that's the level of awareness I want to get into myself, to be able to really understand the micro nuances of why am I rushing right now? I just want to be present with everyone and just take a breath to get to the truth of any interaction. And when you're writing a song or making a piece of art, whatever medium, I think radical honesty is the clearest way for me at this given moment. Yeah.
But radical honesty, that's only bred out of like being somewhat present and still and not rushing, no? Or is rushing a part of what adds to all this?
It's a really interesting question. I think, again, that's like me being a hypercritical of myself and what I want to work on. I think my current process has a lot of improvisation in it. I like go in and kind of freestyle the words and melodies all together in one kind of process. And I think I've kind of been able to use my kind of, I don't want to say fault, but use my kind of very overly frustratedly irritated brain that wants to move fast into a seamless kind of way. So a lot of this album was like completely kind of freestyled, and I think like that's how I've been able to help that specific thing, you know? And again, it took a while to get there because like people like to write structured songs, you know what I'm saying? And often I'll create a whole arrangement and just like, yeah, I'm just going to go in there, and the song kind of appears, and you have to trust the people you're creating with to do that. But I think I've been able to hone a little bit of my fault, let's call it. We can categorize it in that sense, where it's like...
It's not. It's really a part of what makes you great.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. And it might change, you know, I don't want to be overly attached to something, but I think impro is like a core part of using that kind of quick, witty presence. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, just trying to get into that flow state using that. But it took me a while to figure that out.
But so, okay, like, you mentioned flow state, which is like subconscious competence, like very, very, very interesting. But on top of that, like you don't just get there. You don't just get to a place where you can improv, right? Because like a part of that's confidence and confidence in your ability.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I've definitely analyzed the elements that it takes to create a great improviser. And I think watching Miles Davis, John Coltrane, Stevie Wonder, there's a few old tapes of him writing, and it's just pulling from the present moment. And I think you have to have equal amounts trust, equal amounts confidence in your physical body, your skill set, to express the emotion that you're feeling, right? And it's all so subjective. There's no one right way to get there. But for me, at least, I don't want to sound like an arrogant piece of shit, just like da-da-da-da-da. This is just my findings, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to dictate any shit for anyone else, but I think there are a few core elements that can go into really expressing yourself in the present moment, and there are masters. And quite honestly, my mum, I would walk into the lounge room in the morning and my mum was just rolling around doing movement and just improvising, you know what I'm saying? And eventually I started like improvising when I was really little, and yeah, it's a form of freedom. It's a form of freedom and a lack of thought. I don't know about you guys, but this fucking brain, this mind gets in the way a lot. Can't do it anymore. Really trying to just be present. And through all mediums, through conversation, music, heated conversations that I'm having with people I love, you know what I'm saying? Like it translates to
it is true, right? Like this idea that like we just think about everything, and like to be free is to really to not think and just do.
Yeah.
And a great way to express that is like through dance and art. But how does so like a story like Maniac? It is you're telling a story in a song. So how does like that story meet improv? How do the two like kind of things overlap?
Okay, the song being made as a tangible piece of music came from, it was actually in a completely different harmonic structure. It was a rhythm of 5. And I didn't like it. It wasn't very consonant. It wasn't beautiful, but it was like a rhythmic pattern that I enjoyed a lot. And I remember one day I was feeling really, really emotional, and I switched it to these other chords, and I wrote the arrangement, right? The piano, the chorus, all the structure. And I waited for about a year, and I went in the studio and kind of just improvised the song, front to back, melodies and lyrics. And I don't know, I just trusted it. It's kind of walking into a pitch black room. You have no idea where you're going to end up, what's in there, what's happening. And you sometimes find beautiful truths just through trusting. And that's honestly how that song came about.
And truth that's like obviously very much attached to reality that's kind of just been laying dormant within you.
Yeah. So much. Yeah, only. I think, again, like the piece of music felt so truthful to me that like, again, I know we talked about fear at the start of this conversation, but I wasn't ready to tell that story when that composition came through. And when I was present enough.
That's crazy.
To catch it.
But you knew in that moment when you were like writing the music or like playing the music, whatever, capturing it.
Oh my goodness.
You were feeling
immense.
Do they line up the feelings in the lyrics and when the same feelings to when you compose the music?
100%.
It's cool.
Yeah.
How does that play into other people's sessions? Like if this is such a like a timely thing for you,
now, that's a good question.
An emotionally like taxing and laborious thing. Like your record with RAYE is incredible.
Oh, thank you.
Your music with Shawn and Mike Sabath is such a beautiful person, and like
love you, Mikey.
Like one of the most gifted people to walk this earth.
Stunning human.
It's like it's like actually like
I love him.
It makes me sick in the best way.
Yeah, we've lived a lot of life together, me and that boy. We've traveled through realms.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
And bird sounds accompany the entire way.
That was my home.
The birds?
The birds is my home in Australia. It's my backyard.
I gotta say,
you run that, right? That's there's your peace. That's the only grounding you have in your day, potentially.
There's no sound like the sound of nature on that continent, in that country. It is crazy.
Yeah. He came to my home and just recorded it after we made Shawn's album.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So
love him.
How do you balance this like emotion and like apply that to other people's sessions?
First and foremost, I've never really writing songs with other people like kind of can only occur through a real connection. I think I've been maybe in like 3 sessions that other people have formatted and we haven't connected, and I just leave because it's like, what are we doing? Because I think to get vulnerable so fast in a space, it can be done if the connection is beautiful, but it's just a sensitive thing. So when I go into other people's rooms, it's so vulnerable and so different. And I think the music is so secondary. I think at a certain level, these amazing musicians that can express, their bodies are trained and ready to express at a very clear communication. And they need to process life in order to get to the truth. And I think that is so much of like what I like to offer in somebody else's room, is like really trying to get clarity on what they're going through and not trying to force a narrative or a sonic narrative or a structural narrative in a songwriting way, you know? And I think, giving artists space and really allowing them to explore is the key. But again, everyone is so different. That's the interesting thing about this world we're on, is you can't apply this structure to this structure at all. And if I'm working with this person, I go into their room and bring that same, it's not going to work. It's not going to help at all. You really have to like be present. Like, it comes back to presence. You have to be present with them and not project other environments onto them, so you can create the environment you want together.
It's being present, but like you said something really interesting, is like the music is secondary, because the truth is, like, artists do just want to connect on it. Like, they just want to talk.
Yeah,
like,
we're going to die,
yeah,
bro.
people want to feel understood.
What are we doing? I'm sorry, can I swear?
Yes.
Pinch. Oh, great. I've been holding that shit in for a minute. Yeah, we're going to die. The music's beautiful. We love it, but they're just moments. I think people really attach themselves to moments, dare I say. And I think like the tangible lessons you get from processing life with people is a much more enjoyable thing. And it took me a while to learn that as well. You know, I was so obsessed with the micro nuances of anything musical. And when I put my heart in towards humans more, put more of my heart into humans, I learned so much more.
Was there a clear moment where that learning came to fruition?
Yeah, for sure. I'm eating my hair, for fuck's sake. That's what happens when you have a long ass hair. Yeah, I think for sure I've had people I've loved be like, Eddie, what the fuck are you doing? And it's interesting. I think, you know, the system can sell you an idea of something that's not sustainable. And when you think about yourself too much, you are not healthy. You have to have a community. And I've definitely like disrespected that when I was young and didn't find my balance, you know? I think everyone goes through a version of that.
So let's talk about, I mean, there's an album on the way, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is.
Finally.
I'm ready.
How many songs have you made for your own project in the time, like just between like, I don't know. I mean, I would say between Fuck My Friends and presently, but that's a long time.
I was like 16 when I made Fuck My Friends. I was a little baby. Jesus.
All for Nothing's great. You have a lot of great songs.
Hundreds. Albums. For sure.
Where do they sit, and why haven't they ever touched the public's ear?
I think vulnerability and story is so much. I have albums of sonic expression, but I really want to run at my fear of saying truth. You know what I'm saying? And I think that really dictates everything. And there isn't a reason. I have pieces that I love, but I think I kind of have a specific calling of what I want to say. And I think I maybe was not... The reason I have 2 EPs out, I could have put albums out when I was younger, but I was kind of bombarded with that energy too early, I think. And I wanted to sit in it and really experience things for the function of music, to get in touch with my spirit, heal myself. Side effect, it can heal maybe other people. And I think like, yeah, really reevaluating with that intention was important for me, and experiencing things, I think, to be able to just sit in the heart. I hate this pedestal of pop music, of I can't. No, yes we can. It's right here. You know, we can fucking see each other. We know. I think humans are at an all-time high of awareness of bullshit, if you cap, like what is really happening. And I just want to try to get vulnerable. So I think, I was ready to like really sit in my heart and just be like, hey, the fuck I am, hello.
And it takes a minute to get there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also, like, have you left sessions because you feel like people aren't willing to do exactly what you just said, which is see people on the same level for which they are?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, look, everyone has grumpy days. You know what I'm saying? I think when I'm vulnerable and tired, I've left rooms, and I definitely, to a fault, I don't abandon myself. You know, I won't sit in an environment that I do not want to be in ever one time. That can cause... That's healthy. It's healthy. It can cause things, though, you know, as we all know.
Oh, you think?
Before I was good at communicating my true reasons. I mean, you know, if like, guys, I'm really feeling not uncomfortable and I'm uninspired, I have to go and take some space. Everyone's like, yeah, but when you're 18 and you just leave, and people are like, what the fuck, and you can't communicate how you're really feeling, it causes things, which is, we all need to go through those things.
Life
Be lifing.
So is Prince the reason you picked up the bass?
Yeah. Fucking the guitar. I hate the guitar a little bit, but I love it. But Prince is the reason I play bass, for sure. It was my first concert I saw, and I saw this dude just slapping the bass very, very passionately. And I was like, yeah. That.
What is at the center of your creative process? Is there one instrument, or is it a collection?
Bass is definitely my leading language, I would say.
I mean, you could hear it in your early stuff.
Yeah.
Very, very.
Sure.
It's present in everything, but it's very.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
dude,
very
fuck
present.
my friends. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna just do a bass album. There's a vague structure in my mind, but I'll definitely have like leading pieces sonically in like different albums, for sure. But bass is like my favorite. You dictate everything. It's funny because it's not a high frequency in your face, but it dictates a lot, and I think it's a beautiful thing.
Explain that, because it is the backbone of a record, right?
100%. You can't move without a bit of low end shaking your feet, inspiring you to shake booty,
That.
But yeah, I think like high frequency instruments are really beautiful and fun, but I don't think they dictate truly as much as the story as people think they do.
Why do you have a love-hate relationship with the guitar?
I don't know, bro. It's just like the guitar. I'm going to tell you guys a story, and everyone's going to be like, oh my God. But my parents did tell me that my first word was guitar. Like I said, guitar.
That's pretty
Still don't know if I believe them.
cool. I don't know. I'd give it to him. That's a good story.
It's too good.
I'd lean in.
I don't know, bro. And I started playing the guitar when I was 11 or 12. And I had listened to so much music, and I got on it, and I just didn't love it. And then and then I went to that Prince concert. So I actually had a guitar for about 2 months before I went to that concert. Saw the King of Swag play, and I was like, wow. I asked my dad for a bass. I was so nervous. I was like, bro, just bought me a fucking guitar. I'm asking for a bass now. I'm wild for that. He got me a beautiful Hofner bass, and everything clicked. Just different. Just obsessed. Couldn't get me off it. 6 hours a day. Like, I was really excited. I was really excited. And then one day I could just play the guitar. And then, I'm not joking. I mean, it's the same tuning. It's not that different at all, There's 2 extra strings. It's the same structure of instrument. But yeah, and I just started going on stage with the guitar, and I just still don't love it, but I just love it at the same time. I'm still figuring it out.
What about the stand-up bass?
Love it. Played that.
Which do you prefer?
Yeah. Oh, out of electric or stand-up?
Yeah. Well, you could make a stand-up electric, technically. I mean, right or no? I mean, what's the difference between...
My bass teacher is one of the most amazing bass players. He's an upright bass player. His name's Jonathan Schwartz. He's unbelievable. There was a time where I was playing a lot and I was fit. I play them on some records, but I don't own one anymore. My upright bass is in Australia. But I love I love contemporary ideas of traditional music, but I love the grit of an electric instrument. I just do. That being said, we'll play cello, Bach arrangements all day. Love it. Still, my favorite language is traditional classical bowed music. But yeah, I love what an electric instrument means.
It's that. I mean, it is that upright bass that introduces you to Sia via a cover.
Yes.
And then I mean, I'm just can you just describe what it's like to live in, also work in just the Sia universe? Because that would become your reality post that cover, correct?
Yeah. Yes. That was my reality post that cover.
So crazy.
It was beautiful. I love her. She's taught me so much. Talk about a fast creative process. Talk about pure presence. Talk about pure flow. Honestly, potentially never seen anything like it still, honestly. and so inviting and so generous and so truthful. Yeah, I'm so grateful to have spent time with her and be able to call her when any shit happens. You know, she's a real one. She's there.
She's also from Adelaide, I believe.
She is.
So
We got the link up of the century.
come on.
That's what I'm saying. That's beautiful. Yeah, Adelaide, they produce beautiful humans. I don't mean to diss Adelaide. That was, I guess we went, oh. But yo, man, I'm sorry, Adelaide. I do love it there. I went to one beach there. There's a lot of shark attacks there. We don't need to get into that.
You take a song
freak
like
out people.
you take a song like Diamond Eyes. Do
Yeah.
you take lead on that, or does Sia take lead on that?
I was so young when I made that song. I think she just laid on the couch, asked Jesse to put the mic on her, and I went to the piano. She just goes to arrangement. She'll craft an arrangement and just see the pieces for what they are. It's so beautiful and like interestingly structured. Like you could never. Makes you not believe in time. Makes you not believe in coherent forward steps because you're like bang, 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 and then it's like finished. It's so beautiful. But yeah, that was just like sat on the fucking piano. She's laying on the couch, pulling from the Sia sauce.
Explain that. Like, do you have to like reach into this like, because there's this deep, deep, deep belief that things are like just kind of beamed down to you. You've like talked about grabbing these ideas. I mean, even at that young of an age, are you able to understand that? And like, also, what is she teaching you that you still apply today?
I think I've always had me personally, an understanding of the vagueness and magic that it takes to create a pure form of expression, pure form of art, something that really it's an unspoken, what is it? I don't know, we're not designed to know what it is, but when it's there, oh my goodness. And I think, again, it goes back to what we were first talking about. She can remove the mind out of it and just listen to her truth. And she's not afraid to make mistakes. She's not afraid to... I take all that still. She's truly fearless in the way she creates. And it's from her experiences. It's from her life. It's from who she is as a human being. And again, that magic, it's tangible and intangible. It's both. It's like you can't put your finger on it, but you know when it's there. And it's an unspoken thing.
No, that gives me weird goosebumps because she really, like, she is genuinely one of the greatest artists maybe to ever live. And
hands down, like,
it's crazy.
As a vocalist,
yeah, it's stupid. And as a songwriter,
makes me emotional thinking about it.
Yeah, it's nuts. And she does, like, she will not release an album until she feels like every song could be a single. And like, she's a genius. She's a genius.
Truly.
Stupid. Yeah, it's like dumb.
She's a beautiful human being.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah.
Damn. God, very moved by music, eh?
Music is the thing. I don't know. It's my favorite. It's my favorite vibration thus far. That and a good hug. Fuck, bro.
I feel like a good hug is underrated.
It's critical.
Yeah, like, yeah, right?
Yeah. A good hug is critical. For sure. You need you need homies that can hug. You need people you feel comfortable just giving a real hug. You can really drop the shoulders in, you know? But nothing worse than a nearly hug. Hate those. Don't give me them. Same as an orange heart. Don't send me the orange hearts. I only want red and a real hug.
Who's sending you orange hearts?
Bro.
That doesn't feel right.
It just certainly does not feel right.
I'm just so confused. Like, what?
I tell all my friends, like, yellow hearts, blue heart, anything that's not red equates to nothing.
Okay, I get that.
For me,
I can
want the blood. I want the real shit. I'm just joking.
I feel the pink, but
the pink, exactly. It's not all the way.
Yeah, no, I get it.
So why
you want
even?
devotion?
I want. Like.
When's your birthday?
January 15th.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm a Capricorn.
It just passed. Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you.
Damn.
Thank you so much.
Interesting sign. Very creative, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know
and
how much.
Very emotional.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know how much I identify with those things, but boy, I have the pattern. Have you heard of the app, the pattern?
Oh, of course.
Gives me some truth. It does.
It's spot on.
It low-key is a little too... What's going on with that?
Yeah, I mean, I believe in the motion of the ocean and the stars in the sky. And
when you use those words, it's like you can't deny anything. Are you a star sign?
Not really. Not too into it.
When they use language like that, It's hard to. It's true. Yeah,
It's scientific. It's the earth. It's Mother Nature. Come on.
the pattern feels uncomfortably real.
You really believe that they know you? And
I don't know. My hair's getting caught in the fucking mic. Oh well.
You got good hair. By the way, if you want to listen to Eddie's music, it's waiting for you on Amazon Music. There's a link below. Okay.
That's your angel. Thank you.
Yeah. Can we talk about your work with Shawn Mendes and Mike Sabath? Because the
Yes.
music's great. And
Thank you.
Like it came with like a very interesting rollout that I really
Yeah.
appreciated, which was
Yeah.
putting collaborators, friends,
Yeah.
on stage together in a way that like you've never really seen before.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like
Wild.
yeah, it is crazy. Like
It was so beautiful.
dude, the stages you've been on with Justin, incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing is Brazil. Like, like right?
Oh my goodness gracious me. That show was stunning. The energy there, the people there, the love there, the respect there, the energy. I mean, I think I just repeated 4 words. They're just amazing. Yeah,
All deeply accurate.
you know,
I mean, is there an adrenaline rush? I mean, are you thinking when you're up there? Is it like
it was just a special night, man. You know, those are the nights you dream of as a young kid, strumming a guitar in your room, you know. But I think we were all so connected and focused in on ourselves, and we went into that show with so much intention, and also the intention to truly be free. And it creates presence. It really does. That being said, I smashed my headstock on Mike's cymbal and threw the neck out. And my guitar was pretty much out of tune from the 12th fret onward for the rest of the show. So that was a thing I had to figure out.
so do you not have another guitar ready to go?
You know what's so crazy is I didn't. It's really crazy, but I just wanted to play this one Strat. I have a 64 Strat. I love it. I didn't want to play anything else. So I didn't bring shit else. I was like, fuck, man. And I ran off stage to the guitar tech, and he was like, your neck is struggling right now. And I was like, okay. And Shawn started the next song, and I ran back on stage. It was so beautiful, though. I think, like, Rio was different. We got to perform our songs that we had made. You know, a lot of the album was 3-part harmony. And that was the intention of us being on stage, is a lot of those songs were like energetically connected in that way. We kind of sang and wrote them together in a lot of sense after processing real deep memories and emotions together, and we wanted to just bring that.
That's what I was wondering. Like, how did the 3-part harmonies like play into the story that you're telling in the song? Because it is a story that you all lived, or is it a story that one of you lived, or but you came to this record through exploration and discussion? Or
That's the interesting thing about music, is a good song feels like home already. So when someone really starts tapping into their truth, you feel that truth, no matter what. If it's Cap, you feel that too. So like, when you spend so much time, we spent so much time together, that an echo chamber of truth starts to happen, and you really all start connecting to wanting to be real with yourself and be vulnerable and open. And I think that is what was born during that process. You know, I think we all really were able to listen to each other and create songs from one of our best friends' life experiences. But when you spend a year together with someone,
they become shared experiences.
You're living with them.
Yeah.
And it just creates this spiral of truth, you know? And I think that's what inspired us to like want to sing together, then want to continue to sing together on stage. It was just like that kind of drawn intention.
Yeah, I mean, I see Mike Sabath like a couple times a year, and like
You catch the Sab a couple times a year?
no, literally London, some like random
Some
songwriter
vague-ass
thing,
fucking place.
Yeah, anything.
And he's
songwriter
loving
centric.
life.
Oh yeah, he's the
so
best.
excited.
Very grounded guy.
Yes,
Beautiful energy.
truly.
It's really special.
Truly.
And he brings the best out in people. He does.
He makes everyone feel like a superstar.
Oh my, yeah, but
Because he's excited about humans.
beautiful collaborator.
Truly.
And like even for him to bring you into that room with Ray, that's a big one. Because he
You
brings
know-
you in, right?
So that song, this is an interesting thing about why time. I think I was 16 when we made that, it was like years before RAYE started working on Escapism. Years. And it just stuck with her.
Wait,
and
what?
she loved it. Yeah, that song was not a part of the Escapism sessions. I don't know how much they want me to be talking about this. It's not my business, but that's an interesting thing of timeline. Sometimes a piece will just stay with you, and then she wrote her current story mixed with the original essence, and sometimes it's stunning. You know, in this case, absolutely was.
How did your piece make it into that? Did you write something that ended up
You know
with
the
her?
do-do-da, 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 ba-da-da. Yeah, that E minor 7 to F major 7. That was the pattern. We played it on one of Mike's little guitars.
When you're playing an instrument, are you thinking about it or are you just feeling it?
Oh man, when you're thinking about it, it's not what we're looking for. You can hear the mind in it. Same in conversation. Like when you talk to someone and you like feel their brain thinking about what they're saying, you start to go, what the fuck? Same in music for me. So like, definitely wasn't thinking. That's just like a pattern, like the chords. It was a very like party environment session. Like everyone was just chilling. We weren't like, da-da-da, okay, we're gonna... It wasn't at all like that. I was on Mike's big ass couch, RAYE probably outside, people just vibing. Mike loves an open environment to work as well. So, yeah, definitely no mind, and again, trying to get less mind in everything I do.
What did you learn from creating with Shawn and Mike for so long and releasing that project?
I still learn so much from Shawn, you know, and Mike. I think, again, like, being really vulnerable with your friends is so important, and I think we really all pushed each other to like be truly vulnerable with each other and our actual fears and actual insecurities, because you're going on stage together and you're putting out music together. Like, just being truly vulnerable, I think is something, the biggest like takeaway from our friendship, you know. And oh my goodness, Shawn is a very strong, centered, he's a rock of a human. He does things. He dictates life on his own terms, but gently as a leader. He's a very gentle leader. He's a very aware, inclusive human, and that's why he's just a stunning person.
Really special.
Very special, and like, yeah, we're always learning, and he'll call me out on shit. Eddie, you're over-attaching to this narrative. Da-da-da-da. You're not on fucking heroin. Stop pretend. Like, all real things. Like, we all attach to little niche like narratives, and I just love people who can really gently tell you, yo, what? And same, he can receive, oh yeah, okay, fuck. So that's all I want in a human. Accountability and openness. So
Son of a good person and a good friend.
Yes.
Is this album done and ready to go, or are you still actively working
There's
on it?
one more song to finish. Yeah.
We're almost there.
We're right there. But we filmed a video for it. Like, well, it's beautiful.
How is your taste evolves, right? Do you have different relationships with the music you put out? Like, Weatherman's one of my favorite songs of all time.
I really appreciate that.
Well, yeah, I was gonna.
Thank you.
Do you agree, or
I love that song.
great song?
I think harmonically, contextually, sonically, it was like, I'm proud that we made that song when we were like 19 or whatever. I love that song.
Who is the Weatherman?
I don't know.
You know.
I know. I was born in a thunderstorm. That's really what it was.
Really?
I was born in quite a big thunderstorm late at night, and
quick, 4 hours.
so that's like the romantic attachment I had to that song. You know?
Interesting.
Yeah. But I do love that song.
And
So that was really fun.
You mentioned that like vocals for Home were cut under a full moon. Does that matter?
Yeah.
Do you take account
If
of that?
you're sensitive and the moon is pulling the most water, we're 90% water.
So
you
true.
feel that shit for sure.
Yeah, you do feel it. Fuck. Hear that, Dan?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do.
It's
Do you guys have a pinch of beef on the star sign energy?
He just
Pinch.
talks about it and really believes in it. I'm just not sold yet.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Happens. So, what rooms are you in now? Like, who are you creating with?
Can we talk about this Aspen trip that you went on recently?
Oh, not really. Like, what? I mean, you know, I'm open.
You've been posting photos. Justin has been posting photos, and it has people very excited.
I just also, it's like a great room. It's a very beautifully pure, good-hearted, heart-centered room.
Yes.
Filled with integrity,
Yes.
filled with musical skill and ability.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are all incredible. You have to be bringing the best out in each other.
I appreciate that. It's so fun to be in rooms with people who want to make music from a beautiful place and not force anything. You know what I'm saying? And like, yeah, I remember someone said in that room the other day, like, you can't buy trust. And I think like when you get a group of beautiful humans together and they really start falling in love and being open and opening doors to each other's hearts, it's just like that is the most enjoyable part of it. You know, we can play chords and sing and it's beautiful, but I think like, again, the human experience is like dictated in that. And for me, like, I don't have space for like pretending. I know all of us have workspaces where we have to pretend a little bit. Oh, I can't do that. It's just too draining. And again, you have to be cordial, but I think like being with people that you can really be yourself and just is so crucial.
But again, like, people who have known you for a long time, right? Like,
yeah, this is definitely like, I've spent multiple birthdays, you know. I actually spent my birthday in Aspen, like this, like, yeah, family, and so grateful to like, yeah, just connect with humans who want to go deep diving in the depths of what everyone's feeling.
Why is it important for you guys to like pick up, leave Los Angeles, hunker down somewhere else and really lock in?
I think like comfort can be a crutch sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And like to experience new biomes, I was saying, like, because I'm not used to the snow. I was like, this is a new biome for me. I was like in Minecraft on some fucking like, oh shit, you know, we're in the snow now. I'm not used to the snow. But I think, that being said, like, just shifting environments can just like subconsciously tap different parts of you. And yeah, also traveling as a family, moving as a unit, as a group is just like one of the most beautiful things you can do. It's ancient. You know, it's an ancient thing. So like, I think it's really important. But also then again, stay home and flow and create. That's the balance. I think being out all the time is fucking draining too.
it's really interesting. Like, the lack of comfort could breed greatness, but also this idea that like you are on this pilgrimage as a unit, right? Like, you're leaving LA as one,
Yeah.
and making your way to this destination and experiencing it together.
Yeah. Like, life is like, you know, oh my God, I don't like, my brain just loves to like analyze things as to why we are how we are, but we were in big tribe. Well, not big. We were in tribes.
Oh, totally.
Developing. And like, togetherness is such a powerful feeling like you don't have to navigate life completely on your own is huge. And I think it translates to a much more subconscious part of our lives. And I'm just, you know, go camping with your friends, go on trips, go and make shit together, leave, come back together. You'll face challenges, you'll grow, things will come up, won't be always comfortable because there's a lot of new information. And it's just, yeah.
So are you going into those sessions with ideas, with compositions, or are you going in with the intention of like making something from just blank?
I think birthing ideas with the people you're with is very important. I really do. In this specific instance, it's a very flow state room. Not much happens if you're thinking, is what I will say.
Really?
Yep.
How beautiful is it to be with musicians that can also get to that state, though?
It's stunning. And I learn a lot because often my brain is be doing too much. And actually Justin is one of the people who really, since I was little, was like, take a fucking breath. Stop. And so much flows, and I think like, yeah, lack of trying, we talk about it all the time. It's beautiful, learning so much. And again, you have to be comfortable enough to not play the right thing, not sing the perfect whatever. You know, you have to be able to have that space. Again, you don't want to be tense when you're around your loved ones. And if we're creating together, all the layers can come down of the idea of we're working on song, like whatever. It's not about that, you know? And I think being around people who are sensitive to that is important to me. I don't have energy for that.
that is so valuable.
Yeah.
You're there for the human first, and then like everything falls into place. And
Yeah.
also, Justin Bieber is one of the greatest musicians of our generation.
Yes.
I will, like, without a doubt,
Yes.
unequivocally, one of the greatest. I mean, he's exceptionally gifted.
He is. And he has just such a big heart. His ears
Dude.
are out of this world. Like the things he hears and how he can, his ears, bro, it makes me smile because his ears are some of the most special I've ever witnessed since I was little. Even the decisions he would make before I was able to sit with him and create, his ears are just so special and such a beautiful, sweet person. I feel, so grateful. And he's just, really loving, special human, and has a lot of space and patience for people around him, which is huge.
It's really amazing. It's really like honest. Yeah. His greatness was not gifted to him. It was earned through hard work, dedication, and genuine talent that is everlasting. Like he's
truly, he might challenge you on that, because also like the concept of grabbing, doing, human doing, like his bright light of a gift of voice comes from just being too. Like truly sitting in that essence, is the same of getting the mind and the human lust out of the way. It creates just this really pure essence of creation. And I think like human being, not human doing, is really important in that space, which I take away a lot, because no matter what, you can always feel like you're doing more. This shit right here is designed for us to look at 10 people doing beautiful, amazing things that you physically could not do right now. It's designed to make you just like, it can happen to anyone. So like that tangible concept of doing, earning, just being is more important, I think. Truly. I think growing up in spaces like that, I'd be like, I want to strive, I want to da-da-da-da-da, and everyone would be like, that's not even how you do that. You're not going to do it if you're doing that. You have to just arrive in the space or be the frequency you want to give. And I was like, oh, fuck. Took me a while to get that.
That is so eloquently said and so deeply accurate.
Thank you. I mean, it's not my knowledge. I don't want to take credit for that. That's,
To be the frequency that you want to receive, right? This idea that like, you want to be the person you attract, and then you end up being the people you are around. It is this cycle.
It's critical.
I think it's something that people, like, even if you're the most talented human being on earth, if you don't have that ability to put out the frequency and receive people coming back to even give you the time of day to acknowledge your talent, do you get what I'm saying? Like
100%.
It's so interesting.
It is. It's really interesting, and it's hard. And it makes so much sense that you presently have to feel the love you want to receive, Remember, I read this thing the other day. Prince said, whatever you want more of, give it away. You want more love, give it away. You want more music, give it away. You want more money, give it away. You want more smiles, give them away. And I was like, damn, yeah, that resonated with me.
What's it like to be in the presence of Prince? You hear all these magical things about him where he just kind of floats in and floats out, and you're like, is that
real?
Be
floating everywhere, man.
Yeah.
I don't, I was on side, I was like I was relatively close, but I was on the side thing. He was just himself. He did not give a fuck what anyone had to say. Then I felt that electricity from him, he just was being present, trying to get his mind out of the way. Stunning though, like ridiculous. Still ingrained in my memory, for sure. Yeah, it was a white bass. It was wild. Tiny too, but just like the energy was. He always made me feel. I'm a small person. He made me feel so confident to be little. I would not want to be tall. I love being nimble and like, and that was like a huge thing. I was like, oh my God, the energy this human is emitting right now is bigger than life in a genuine, real loving way. And also then he knows how to ground because he's, at that time he was healthy. But yeah, stunning. My favorite.
You talk about wanting to push the language of pop music
Yeah.
and changing what we consider pop music today. And the goal is to do that with this upcoming release, correct? Or no?
Yeah, no, yeah. I think like it's so subjective because like again, I really believe that a good song feels like home. But like present storytelling and like maybe not, the last 10 years of pop music definitely has been my least favorite in history.
What is it lacking?
Spirit, truth. I think like, I could sit here and talk shit all day. It's easy. I've made terrible songs too. It's a part of it. But like...
Well, we're talking about songs who make it to the radio. We're talking about... take a look. It's probably the last 10 years of just, I don't know, a few.
Harry. Love Harry. Doja? Is this Doja Cat?
Yeah.
Love it. They're beautiful expressionists. I'm not trying to say like... There are some stunning artists who like run at their truth and that I deeply respect. But I think like the overall... arc, I just like it hasn't inspired me personally, and I think like remaking songs and tapping into your own frequency of being inspired is really important. And I think tangibly, I don't want to sit here and talk shit, but tangibly Miles Davis said it takes 30 years to stop sounding like your influences. And if you can directly go, this is this, this is this, this is this, I don't like that. I like to be like, I love the questions when you hear a record. It's like, what does that remind me of? That feels like something, but there's another language in it that's making me feel like it's turning me here. Like I love disguising your influences, and there's so many of them, to where it sounds like a new thing with the essence of the things you love to absorb and the energy you love to absorb. And I think like, for me, what I tangibly mean is like, you can hear repetitive language and direct. And some creators love to be like, what they want it to feel exactly like that, and that's the fire too. That's that. For me, I want to try to disguise the concept of influences in music to where it's like blends, and you have to kind of search for what it is. And there's people who do that throughout history, for sure. But then again, like simplicity and communication in music is so important for me. I love it. I hate overcomplicating. There's so many elements you can overcomplicate. The story, the harmony, the rhythm, whatever. There's endless things you can overcomplicate, but it's just a balance of things, and I think every creative tries to do it in their own way. So there's no right or wrong, but last 10 years, 15.
No, you're right. Very
uninspiring for me.
Highly formulaic.
Yeah.
In ways that like people just wanted to fill a formula.
Yeah.
To achieve a goal.
Yeah.
Not speak truth.
Yeah. Which is why like the essence of like the whole numbers game of this reality is like it really. The reason why some artists who really started singing to not think about that is so much friction to their system, and you have to learn how to navigate people perceiving you. But like I remember, your guys' questions are so beautiful, but sometimes I get asked really rhetorical, shallow questions, and it's kind of jarringly hilarious because you're like, yo, like, you think I'm that shallow to do this job to be perceived?
No, totally.
To be perceived? And of course you have moments of ego where you like want to showcase and give your talent and give your gift to people. That's beautiful. Love performers, but like just the concept of hyper perception is just like bullshit to me.
But you have to like eventually break people's perception of yourself to be able to like even speak your truth, right? Like,
and that starts with doing that for yourself.
Yeah.
So when you're creating, will you like shut out the rest of the world so you're not influenced by something you hear, whether it's like unintentionally or not?
I think rigorously getting stuck into a process is a trap. Like people who like, and I've been one of these people, we're only going to work like this. Rigorously creating a system like can sometimes trap you. And I think like there's been processes where I'm like, I'm going to only listen to this album while I'm making this album. And then things where I'm like just floating and not thinking about it, and whatever I go to and lean to while I'm creating, that's what it is. And I don't think either of them have a benefit or non-benefit. I just try to like be present, I remember for some reason, like during Weatherman, I was listening to the second song on Kurt Cobain's, forgetting the album. It's really insane. Is it called? Hold on, I can't get destroyed by the whole realm for not knowing this song, because this is important. While I was making the song Weatherman, yeah, so it was on Nevermind. In Bloom. I was gonna call it In Bleach for something. In Bloom. I'm a very obsessive person. I was only listening to that song, only, for the month while I was making Weatherman. Only. I love rock music. I love grunge music. I love psychedelic music. But I'm not the biggest. That's all I was listening to. And the music that I was making couldn't be more different. Jarringly different. But if you listen to your subconscious, it'll grab what it needs. And it can put a bit of that attitude in there without it being a distorted guitar. You know?
It's true.
Like there's elements of inspiration that can energetically get into the pieces you're working on without it being the same fucking color.
That like, by the way, I've been trying to explain that to people for a long time. Like the difference between copying someone and being inspired by someone is this idea of like it attaching itself to your subconscious and like totally different shade, totally different fucking color, totally different texture. It is your own, but like energetically, whereas you've been inspired, there's a microcosm of something else in there, but it is 100% you.
Yeah.
It's not somebody else verbatim, I think.
Yeah. It's an unspoken thing that you can arrive at. You know what I'm saying? And that's, again, why this is why I love music. Anyone can write. Any human can write a stunning piece of music, one piece of music. To do it twice takes a lifetime. It's a different life of trying to get into truth. And that's why I love music, is because the simplest two chords and the words that just work will make you feel so much more than the greatest musician who plays 50,000 chords.
How does one arrive at their truth?
By trying to understand what scares them. For me, I don't want to sound like a fucking guru, because I'm beyond not. I'm a mess, but running at fear, I think trying to understand your true fear can arrive you at what you need to express. Yeah.
What'd you bring to the sessions with Willow? By the way, congrats. It was Grammy nominated. That's a big deal.
I was just texting that girl. Love her so much. Life. Look, oh man, I just repeat myself every time. But we were living a lot of life together.
There's a common thread. You really like embed yourself.
You're hilarious. You're so funny for saying that. I mean, look, like I think when you connect with someone deeply, you want to like experience things together because you can bring them and translate them into fucking songs that mean a lot to you, can heal you. And we were in New York for about a week, and we made like 4 songs, and we were just living, processing, crying, all the things. And she's just one of the most special people. She taught me a lot about love and a lot about human interaction, a lot about radical honesty. She's one of the most brutally honest people on the planet. But without venom, she can really relay beautiful information that you need to hear well. So I learned a lot from that. But yeah, the musical process, she would just like get in my body and just like the arrangement would just come, and she's so fearless. She tries things that are terrifying, and I love her so much. She's one of my best friends.
Common thread to the people you hold dear, and also some of the most successful people in your orbit, is that they know how to genuinely and kindly give honesty in a heartfelt, caring way that is not harsh to hear, but what you need to hear in the right package.
Yeah, 100%. I'm just grateful that that is the case, you know? I really am. And it's something I prioritize in myself, you know? Like, trying to be honest and aware, I think, is like a necessary part of being a part of this world, this functional world. Like, nothing more that triggers me than someone who can't take accountability. And again, I've been that person. You have to work through it, blah, blah, blah. But like, yeah, real honesty and really like identifying your best friend's patterns, who you say you love and you say you have all this space for. If you can't have an uncomfortable conversation with them,
it's not real.
It's not real. yeah, it's interesting.
When's the album coming?
Ooh. That's a good question. I would say within the next 4 months, 3 months,
Oh, wow.
4 months
Okay, we'll take it.
type situation.
That's a good window.
I gotta do a few things. There are a few things I gotta really dial. That's a long window though. People are in the back being like, oh, 4 months, what the fuck? But that's like the longest window, I would say. There are a few little pieces I gotta touch, a few little massaging elements I have to do.
How do you know when a song is done?
That every section guides it to the next. Like that you can identify static movement in pieces, I think, for me. And that can be an amazing verse with the best hook, but that 4 bars leading into the hook is mid, song is cooked. Happens all the time to me. Right, stunning verse. First part of the pre, great. Hook builds energy, all the blah, blah, blah. 4 bars before the hook, horrendous, song done. Terrible. Not done, song bad.
Yeah, can you fix that?
Yeah, you can fix that. Just gotta go in and fix it. You know, you gotta reevaluate. And yeah, so for me, like the passing off of sections is so important. And I think like that's where I really look. If there's like green ticks in every passing off of section and they both, it's 2 parts connecting, right? It's not one, you know, music is such an interesting medium because you're experiencing time and it feels like it's going forward, but a lot of elements are connecting together at one time. And for me, like, a section passing off into another section is so important. And I hate modern rises. I don't love modern transitions in pop music. They just, like, they feel static and gross to me. So, like, yeah, I think, not to get too deep about the transition of sections, but it's really important when 2 parts of the story are together and communicating together. That's, like, a big thing for me. And so when all of those are in check, I'm like, beautiful, song's finished.
Well, when the album's here, I'll be waiting for you on Amazon Music. There's going to be a link below.
Appreciate that.
Go and grab it. You're really gifted and a great conversationalist.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, you're awesome.
Likewise, this has been such a chill vibe.
Your parents have to be so proud of you. Like, your dad was a drummer in a rock band. They opened for Nirvana.
He was.
Did their thing. Your mom was a choreographer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had, like, you took this journey together. I mean, you left a great life, I'm assuming, in Australia. Like, what the fuck?
So
like,
chill.
Like, they really took the leap with you.
I mean, look at the life he's living now, though.
But dude,
You know.
I mean, dude, Australia is like
You know.
a paradise. Yeah, you grew up in Bondi. I mean, like,
Going up there is definitely different than being on Laurel Canyon, you know? It's different. It's different. You know, I do not walk outside with my bare feet anymore. At all. Ever once. And I wish I could. But I can't. I cannot do that.
but they have to be proud, right?
They're so proud. They're so supportive. Again, like, people ask me, like, they feel like I have, like, stagey parents. I'm like, they never told me to go near an instrument one time. They did not 1 ounce of pushing. They just let me be. And I was like, I think that's how you hurt a child's future the most is by, again, but controlling them and controlling their creative anything. And they're just, all they care about is if I'm happy, a stable human, and feel aligned, you know? But they're very proud. And, like, life happens. And when your little baby goes through something, I could imagine that it's really hard. But, yeah, I've always had their support.
Would you ever bring your dad into the studio and have him play on a song with
I've
you?
had that motherfucker play some drums before, for sure. He's got good feel. He was a session guy, too. So, like, again, I was a little overplayer for my dad. When I was growing up, I was playing overplaying, you know, and he's a real feel guy, real record guy. He loves things that have tangible pieces for the songs. He's like, what does the song need, bro? We don't care. You can play fast. So, like, I trust him a lot. He has a really beautiful ear and loves parts, simple parts.
Well, so much of that is still made up of, like, how you practice today.
Of course. Absolutely.
That's really cool.
But all I wanted to do was, like, play as fast as, like, just speed demon it out, you know? But now I'm like, parts. What does my heart want to say? Boring shit like that. No, I'm just kidding.
Eddie Benjamin, truly 1 in a trillion.
Thank you, man. That's so nice of you to say.
Well, just being honest, I really appreciate your time and energy today.
Thank you, bro.
You good?
Yeah, you are fantastic.
Thank you. That was one of my favorite conversations I've had. I really appreciate that. That was fun.
mutual.
We'll do it again for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please come back whenever you
Absolutely.
want. Always here.
We'll swag it out some more.
Eddie's Music waiting for you. The entire catalog on Amazon Music. Click the link below. We all good? Mm-hmm. Eddie Benjamin,
We're
everybody.
good in the hood. Thank you, guys.